Once upon a midnight dreary, as I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, as I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door." This it was and nothing more. Oh, how clearly I remember it was in the bleak December, when each several dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore. Nameless here forevermore, and the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, till to still the beating of my heart I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," I said, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is, I was napping, and so faintly you came tapping, and so gently you came rapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever felt before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "No." This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." This it was, and nothing more. Back into that chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Suddenly I heard a tapping, something louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice." "Well, let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more." Open here, I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling must have fancy into smiling by the stern engraved decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, said I, art sure no craven, ghastly grin and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore! Much I marvel this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the pallid bust just above his chamber door, of such name as nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on that pallid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word it did outpour. Nothing further than he fluttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by a reply so aptly spoken, doubtless said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope one melancholy bore of never, never more. But the raven, still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking, what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird in yore meant in croaking nevermore? This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl, whose fiery eyes burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my ease at head reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining, with the lamplight gloating o'er. But whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed by an unseen censer, swung by seraphims, whose footsteps tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath sent thee. By these angels he hath sent thee respite and nepenthe from the memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget the lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or tempest tossed the here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me truly, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within a distant Aidenn he shall clasp a radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word or sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarted. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken and quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the palace just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming casts its shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.